Tea Time Florida is brought to you in part by the Salamander Golf Collection. Welcome to Tea Time Florida. Our golf destination is not across the state, it's not across the country, it's across the pond. We had an opportunity to visit Munich, Germany, and learn how to sprechen Sie Deutsch. Our course review is with the Ocean Course at Hammock Beach Resort in beautiful Palm Coast, Florida. Our Celebrity Corner is Paul Azinger. Our tip from the pro is from Scott Fusascia, and our product showcase is Cleveland Wedge. They've just come out with the RTX 4. Everybody needs one in their bag. In our lifestyle segment, we'll hear from Salamander Golf Resort members at Innisbrook, Reunion, and Hammock Beach regarding why they enjoy the golf lifestyle. Stay tuned for more Tea Time Florida after these messages.
Time. Nothing is more valuable. So how do you spend it? How do you measure it? Hours or moments? Because the only experiences worth your time are the ones you enjoy most. Experience the joy of easier distance, easier accuracy, easier golf. This is Zexio.
Our golf destination led us to Eastern Europe, where we took an exciting drive on the Autobahn, toured the unique architecture of downtown Munich, enjoyed a brief day trip to Salzburg, Austria, the home of Mozart and the movie location for The Sound of Music, and we experienced a cruise on the River Rhine in Dusseldorf. If you're going to visit Germany, you must make sure you plan on being there for Oktoberfest. But of course, our real reason for the visit was to play golf on the beautiful Parkland-style golf courses. Our first round was at Golf Park Munich Eichenried, where we enjoyed 18 holes and a conversation with General Manager Wolfgang Mickel.
The course has been built 30 years ago in 1988. It was built for the BMW International Open, which is one of the most famous professional golf tournaments in Europe and one of the last ones in Germany. And the course since has hosted this tournament 26 times.
So Wolfgang, who would you include in your fantasy golf foursome?
I would say my daughter, I would say my father, and Tiger Woods.
And why Tiger Woods?
Because I admire his game. A lot of females play golf in Germany. We have 40% female players here in the club. We don't use electro buggies normally. It's only for handicapped people and very old people. So we carry bags or we have trolleys. And so I would say it's more sportive. The restaurant here is very good, and you could stay in the village close to us. You have a really Bavarian countryside, and that is a deep insight in how we live here in Bavaria.
Speaking of the Bavarian countryside, I understand this golf course was built on land that was used for growing crops for a brewery. Can you tell us a little story about that?
I mean, Munich is very famous for beers, and 150 years ago it started here on an industrial level, and they brought the turf from here to Munich downtown and heated the water to brew beer.
And was it good beer?
I think yes.
Marcus, thank you very much for your hospitality. Tea Time Florida and the golfers of the state of Florida and beyond are going to be very excited to see the results of our visit today. But if I'm an American and I'm watching this and I've never been to Germany, I've never played golf in Germany, what would you say to encourage those folks watching this why they should come over and visit your country?
Oh, to come to Germany or to Bavarian, it's always good because you can stay in Munich. It's a very old city with very historical, and to go to the Oktoberfest, it's the biggest fest in the world, and we have many beautiful golf courses also in Munich or nearby Munich. One of these is the Golf Park Häusern. You stay here right now. You're very welcome to play here in Golf Park Häusern. The golf course is like different to other golf courses because we have three areas. We have the water area, the sand area, waste area, and we also have like a parkland area. And all together you play different holes with different shapes. And I think that's very beautiful. We always try our best to put the course in very good conditions. and I think that's very nice. Two signature holes are the hole number 15. It's a par 3 with water all around the green. And the second signature hole, I think it's hole number 18. You play a par 5 downhill, and you always see the clubhouse in front of you, and you see the terrace, and you want to go there and to drink a beer.
If you ever get an opportunity to go to Munich, Germany, definitely make sure you include Oktoberfest in your planning. It's not just a carnival, it's not just a beer fest, it's a carnival beer fest. Coming up next, we'll visit with Dylan Mulligan at the Ocean Course at Hammock Beach. Well, we've all heard of taking a mulligan on the first tee. Well, today we're going to take a mulligan on the golf course here at the Ocean Course at Hammock Beach. Meet Dylan Mulligan. Dylan, say hi to the folks.
How are we all doing?
We are so appreciative of him giving us a tour of the Ocean Course today. Can you give us an idea as to what to expect as we play the next 18 holes on this dramatic oceanside golf course?
Yeah, of course. We have 6 holes right along the ocean, about 1.5 miles of coastline, and it's really something that you won't really see elsewhere.
What can you expect on the first hole here as we're marching away from the ocean? I guess if it was a blustery day, we'd have a little bit of wind at our back, but this is a pretty good poke off the first tee.
Yeah, of course. You get a great opportunity to hit some professional shots with that wind behind you. It's a nice dogleg right, has a little trouble with the sand that could be on your right-hand side, and you mainly want to keep it a little left and for a nice approach shot into the green.
Man, I tried to hang with you, you young buck. Nice drive.
Thank you. I'd say you did pretty well.
Well, the nice thing is we've got a great approach shot here on the first hole. Try and see if we can finish with a good opportunity for a birdie. All right, Dylan, nice par. Let's see if I can hit this birdie putt.
Let's drain it. Great putt.
There we go, thanks. Fourth hole, fairly simple, straightforward par 3. What's it look like?
Yeah, from the tee box, you're about 150 yards out. Some nice water all along the right-hand side there. Some greenside bunkers. So make sure you have the right club in your hand, and when you stick it up there, just make sure it's next to the hole and you'll walk away with a nice par.
So Dylan, taking a look at this lengthy par 5, 6th hole at the Ocean Course, you're a big enough guy, you can go ahead and clear this, but I'm gonna have to sneak it around the right-hand side. What kind of distance we got?
You're looking at about 110 yards.
Dylan, you've got a nice kind of a squirrely putt going downhill, but I'm just hoping mine stayed up because it ran pretty quick. Whoa! Hey, holy smokes, I wonder if they kept it from going in.
Possibly.
I just hope they don't have a friend in Mr. Alligator waiting for me to come down here.
You gotta be careful there.
Guys, can you just hang out while I hit this shot? I don't want to have, oh man, you don't want to stick around to watch this? Wow, there was an alligator over there, I think. You gonna stay for us? Do you think I can hit this shot? Keep him there?
It's a possibility.
He went in the water and the
there.
ball nearly went in the hole.
Wow, great shot.
So Dylan, thank you so much for the first 8 holes here on the Ocean Course at Hammock Beach. We're standing at what has to be one of the most picturesque golf holes on the course, number 9, a little more than 450 yards, which is going to take a poke. Thank goodness we got the wind behind us, but do we have more of this on the back 9?
Yeah, on the back 9, we have about 4 more holes right up on the ocean. Views just like this, sometimes even better.
Dylan, here we are on the 15th hole of the Ocean Course. It's the beginning of the Bear Claw. Can you explain what that's all about?
Yeah, of course. Jack Nicklaus, his nickname was the Bear, so on every course he designs, he leaves a signature, and ours happens to be the Bear Claw, which consists of hole 15, 16, 17, and 18.
Well, and I understand 3 of those 4, we're going to be able to see the ocean very well. And this one, once we get up to the green, It'll be probably right on the other side.
Exactly, right on the back side of the green.
I look forward to seeing that, and I just hope we can stay out of the beach.
I hope so as well.
A little blustery out here, but of course you'd expect that with the Atlantic Ocean just behind this tee box on number 16. Little dogleg left with a whole lot of water in our way.
Yeah, that's right, Bob. There's a lot of water here. It can play like a risk or reward situation. Do you play it safe and go for an easy shot into the fairway, or do you try and cut a corner and get a little layup from over there?
I would imagine with your length, you're going to go for it. For me, it's all about safety. Dylan, we're on the 17th hole. Absolutely gorgeous backdrop. Is that, I think it's a shrimp boat out there.
I think you're right there.
Well, I hope we don't fly it out that far off course, but this is going to be the challenge hole.
It is.
So closest to the pin for $1. Are you up for that?
I'm up for it. No mulligans?
No, no mulligans, Dylan Mulligan. How about a mulligan?
Yep.
All right, here we go for the birdie. Geez, here it is on a beautiful evening, playing 18 holes of golf. Appreciate your company, and what can you say besides this is gorgeous?
You got that right. You really don't have any other words. I'm speechless, even after working here for so long.
Well, we appreciate your time and attention, and certainly your camaraderie today, and we'll see if we can't hit one into this fierce wind and finish off on a high note with a par.
Sounds great. Thank you again.
Job, Dylan. Nice par.
Thank you.
Let's go to the Atlanta Grill and have a beer.
Sounds great.
After the recent tragic loss of the USA team in the Ryder Cup, we only wish we'd had Paul Azinger back. He's up next in our Celebrity Corner. Bob Bolton, Tee Time Florida with Paul Azinger, previously PGA champion, Ryder Cup player, Ryder Cup captain, now grandpa. And you can tell us a little bit about the Fox Sports golf analyst position that you have. Tell us what the difference is between playing and talking about those that are playing.
Well, I think the main difference is when you're playing, you're the action. And when you're broadcasting, you're just reporting the action. And it's not real satisfying for, I think, a former player to be a broadcaster. Because when you get done, it's just like everybody gets up, takes off, changes their clothes, and they're out. And you look around like, well, nobody cares what you said. Hey, Zinger, I loved it when you said this or that. It's really people, when I get home, they say, hey, did you see so-and-so hit that shot, or what about that shot? And it's about the action. So if you're in that broadcast booth and you're satisfied in that broadcast booth, it's because you don't feel the need to be the action anymore, and you feel pretty satisfied to try to report it, I guess.
So as a player, what would you say are the top one or two things in your career? And then as a broadcaster, what have been the top one or two things that you've had the opportunity to experience on the other side of the camera?
Well, as a player, I think just being able to captain the Ryder Cup team and to be the leader of 12 men and take them into battle against Europe was a pretty big honor for me. As a player, winning the PGA was huge. Participating in the Ryder Cup, because you get to, represent the country, and there's a lot of patriotism built in me because my dad was in the military and all that. But it's a patriotic battle, and it's in Europe's blood. It's in our head pretty much, but even though it was in my head, it was a mountaintop experience. And so those are probably the two biggest things in my career. Winning Jack's tournament and Arnold's tournament was kind of nice, I got to say. As a broadcaster now, it's just great to be able to know that you're going to be a part of recording history. You know, as my broadcasting career has gone on, I went from doing 20 events a year with ABC to now just being ESPN for a while, which is owned by ABC, and doing 4 or 5 tournaments a year at the most. But being able to call the British Open was huge because someone's going to make history. And then when they gave up the British, I was free to sign with Fox, and then I get to record history at the U.S. Open. So it's a privilege to be able to do that. And I want whoever wins the major championship that I'm calling to have something he can look back on, show his grandkids, and feel like, you know, what an achievement. And these broadcasters really summed it up.
Yeah, I'm sure that most everybody that will watch this interview, whether it's online or on air, will be envious not only of your success personally, but also the ability to share a game with legends of golf, of course, which you've had the pleasure to not only play with, but also be a part of that entire history of golf. And we appreciate your time today.
Hey, I'm happy to do it.
We're about to turn the corner on this episode of Tee Time Florida. Coming up next, our tip from the pro is with Scott Fusascia from Hammock Beach Resort, and our product showcase features Cleveland wedges. Stay tuned. Today we find ourselves at Hammock Beach Resort, part of the Salamander Golf Collection, with Scott Fusascia, one of the golf pros here. We're going to be talking about both draws and fades today, right, Scott?
Yes, sir.
Of course, that beats the heck out of the dreaded hooks and banana slices, right?
Absolutely. So today we're going to talk about how to hit the draw. So what we're going to do is find our target out there, and what we're going to do when we line up, just the only little difference in the setup is we're going to keep that club face aimed just a little bit right of our target. And once we have that set, we're going to make sure our feet, hips, and shoulders are aligned just a little bit farther right of where the club face is to allow for us to add the spin of the right to left to give us that draw. That way we can just set up just nice and right at the target and give it a good swing. Okay, now for the fade. The one thing we want to do with the fade is kind of just the minor opposite of the draw. So when we find our target, we'll get set up to that. We will have the club face just slightly open. And once we're just a little open there, our feet are going to aim left of our target. We're going to want to make the same swing as normal now that we have adjusted for the fade. And what this is going to cause is just adding spin from the left to the right to get it to move that way. Now we don't want to overswing, because when we do that is when we get those slices that nobody wants to hit. So it's just something along these lines.
Scott, thank you so much for your time today. We've all hit the dreaded hook or the nasty slice, so it's nice to know how to be able to hit a nice draw or a nice fade. We appreciate your time today.
My pleasure.
For tips like these and so many more from the pros at the Salamander Golf Collection, visit teatimeflorida.com and click on Tips from the Pro. Welcome to the 2018 PGA Show here in Orlando. We're with Brian Schelke, Director of Marketing for Cleveland, Srixon, and Zexio. Nice to meet you, Brian.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Bob.
Now, we're going to talk about what most people think first of when it comes to the Cleveland brand, which are wedges. If you don't have one in your bag, you're missing out. I've got 3. So if you could kind of run through the different products in the line and what kind of a player they appeal to.
Yeah, well, what's really separated us and helped us, gain our leadership position in the wedge category is our philosophy. We don't really have a one-size-fits-all approach. Everyone's short game's different, they have different needs. So really we try to make a wedge for every golfer type and every playing style so we can provide the best performance for their game. So within the line, we have the RTX 3 wedge, and this is a wedge that's for the best players in the world. Tour players, avid golfers, low handicaps. It's a pure blade design, maximum versatility, and then also it has our Rotex face, which generates tons of spin, so you have total control around the green. For golfers kind of on the other end who maybe don't have as much time to practice as they'd like, they struggle out of the bunkers, they struggle chipping, we have our Smart Sole series of wedges. These have really wide, forgiving soles. They're more cavity back, added forgiveness, so really it just makes the short game easy. Whether you want to hit it high, you want to hit it low, it just simplifies the short game for golfers and really is a game changer for their short game, you know, if you kind of struggle around the greens. And then we have a new category of wedges. This hasn't really been available for people in the past, but we found that 86% of golfers play cavity back irons. And then those same golfers go into a kind of a tour design blade wedge that's a little heavier, doesn't quite add the forgiveness they need for their game. So we created the Cleveland CBX wedge, and this is really new and unique, but it's really for about 84% of golfers out there. It has the same tour and control technologies as our Rotex 3 tour wedge, maximum spin, maximum control, but it has a little bit wider sole, especially on the toe side, and it has a cavity back to give it a little bit more forgiveness to blend better with your cavity back irons. So ever since we launched this, it's been doing great and really appeals to a lot of golfers out there who want, you know, wedge scoring technologies, but a little bit more forgiveness to match their irons.
So depending upon the player's ability, you've got something for the high handicapper, the moderate handicapper, and the scratch guy.
Yeah, and we think that's the right way because, I mean, everyone's short game's unique and one size doesn't fit all.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thanks, Bob.
Coming up next, we'll visit all 3 of the Salamander Golf Resorts in Florida and hear how great it is to be a member and live the golf lifestyle. Make sure and visit teatimeflorida.com to register to win a 3-day, 2-night stay at any one of these Salamander Golf Resorts.
Experience teaches you that nothing comes easy until it does. Experience easier distance, easier accuracy, easier golf. This is Zexio.
We're enjoying time here at Reunion Resort with the Anderson family. We have Brian, Brady, Jessica, and Tatum, and they're going to tell us how much they love being residents as well as members here at Reunion. Brian moved here recently from Ohio. What was the driving force for making that change in residency, and why Reunion?
Well, primarily we've been big Disney fans for many years, so that was one of the factors, just looking at a place that's close to Disney. Escaping the winters up north was also a factor. So about 3 years ago, we looked around Central Florida, and we started at Reunion, actually. Looked all over for a couple of years, came back to Reunion after that 2-year search, and we realized there's nothing better. I mean, it has everything that we could want. And you know, the more we spent time here and got to know the members and the staff, we just fell in love with the place because you really feel comfortable here. It just fit for us.
Now, from what I understand, Jessica was a driving force in the research and, of course, the decision, because it's all about the family. So, Jessica, what were some of the really important considerations that you had in mind?
I had to find something that fit all 4 of us. And, of course, for Brian, it was the golf. For the kids, especially, it was the amenities. And here at Reunion, we have so many wonderful amenities, including our community pools and the water park. And when I found that, along with all of the beautiful golf courses and everything here, I knew it was a really good fit.
We're enjoying a wonderful conversation with Les Davis, a member here at Hammock Beach since 2010 and a former resident of the great state of Kansas. Les, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Bob. Good to see you.
Absolutely. Now, what can you tell us about the reasons why you and your wife Patty chose to move and live here and enjoy the membership at Hammock Beach?
Well, our first affiliation with Hammock Beach was really back in 2002. What happened was we were in our late 40s, living in Kansas, thinking about where we're going to live when we want to retire. And so we looked through kind of the map and said, okay, there's 10 states that we might be interested in, Florida being the first. So we saw something in the Wall Street Journal about a place called Hammock Beach Resort. We came down, we visited, we bought a lot the next day. And so then we held the lot until I retired in '09, and we built our home, and then in 2010 joined this wonderful club.
What a storybook story that was.
It was a great story, yeah, we love it.
So now what have you enjoyed since 2010?
Well, we started out being what's called beach club members, and because Patty was a very avid tennis player, my wife, and I hadn't quite gotten into the golf situation yet. And then in 2014, I became interested in golf, started playing, and now I play almost 300 times a year. So we joined golf in 2014. Patty's becoming a golfer too, so she just started 3 years ago and is now playing about 3 or 4 days a week. So we're loving it.
Well, we certainly appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
We're enjoying some time here at the Innisbrook Resort with the Napier family, Chris, Bryce, Amy, and Harper. And we're going to talk to them about, one, why did they choose the Innisbrook Resort to not only have as their home, but also they're members of the club as well. Chris, can you give us an idea as to why you chose Innisbrook as a place to enjoy your family?
Yeah, we moved down from Pennsylvania. We, searched a bunch of different areas revolving around school districts and all that. We love the game of golf, so it was kind of a no-brainer once we came and visited Innisbrook and saw the grounds. They're beautiful. As soon as you pull onto campus, it's breathtaking. 4 golf courses, 6 pools. The resort lifestyle is very nice, and the wife and kids enjoy it very much.
So Amy, I would imagine you and Harper have an opportunity to enjoy the spa here at Innisbrook. Can you tell us about that experience?
Yeah, they're very easy to get an appointment with. Harper and I usually go for manicure, pedicure, super friendly, massages, anything you'd want, facials. And like I said, the staff is always very friendly, welcoming.
Introducing Srixon's all-new Q-Star Tour. Tour caliber spin and lower compression for players with moderate swing speeds. The new Q-Star Tour from Srixon. Take your performance further.
6, 5, 4,
3, 2, 1. Launch.
The all-new Launcher HB from Cleveland Golf. Don't just hit it, launch it.
Check your local listings for the next Tee Time Florida. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And check out teatimeflorida.com for extended versions of these segments. You can also register to win a 3-day, 2-night stay at any Salamander Golf Resort. Thank you for watching Tee Time Florida. May your swing be straight and your ball fly far, and may your round be blessed with no worse than par.